Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Dragonwing, the first book in the Deathgate cycle by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. I actually have an interesting anecdote about Tracy Hickman. Well, interesting from my perspective. My wife's friend was getting married, and we were invited to the wedding reception. And so we went to the reception, and we were, having some wedding food, snacks and whatever else that they bring you. And I was just, we were at this table. There was this guy sitting across the table from us. And my wife is a much more social person than I am. Again, it was her friend's wedding. And so she got to conversing with this gentleman across the table. And he said, my wife asked him what he did or something like that. And I was only listening with like half my attention, but I caught the fact that his name was Tracy Hickman. And I'm like, wait a minute. You wrote the Dragonlance novels. And my wife was like, stunned that I knew who this person was that was sitting across the table from us. So anyway, that's how I met Tracy Hickman. All right. So, Tracy Hickman, best known for, the Dragonlance novels, but Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman also wrote the Deathgate cycle. They actually have done the Dark Sword. There's actually two Dark Sword trilogies, and there's the Deathgate cycle, and there's multiple Dragonlance series. I'm trying to remember if I read Yes, I did read Dragonlance first. I read the middle book in the Dragonlance series. I was at the library looking for some books, and somebody's like, "Oh, if you're looking for an interesting book, here." And I didn't realize at the time that it was the middle book, Dragon of Winter Night or something like that. I forget what the name of the book was, but I read that one first out of Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman's stuff. I then ended up reading the other Dragonlance novels and going and finding more by them, reading the Deathgate cycle. So the Deathgate cycle, the Dragonwing, it opens on the Arianis. I'm giving it my own pronunciation, obviously, but it is called the World of Air. It is composed of floating islands. There's not much as far as water resources in the World of Air. I mean, it's the world of air. So the denizens of the World of Air, there are elves, humans, dwarves, and a mysterious race of magical beings called Mysteriarchs. They live at the highest plateau or highest portion of the World of Air. The elves, humans, and dwarves live down in the mid and lower realms, and they either have tamed dragons through magic to be able to fly around between the islands, or they have these dragon ships. I forget what they're called. But they have they're basically flying boats that they use to go from plateau to plateau, or island to island. Now, the problem is that everybody needs water, but it is a very scarce resource on this in this plane. And so there's a lot of war that's going on between the different factions. Now, you first meet Hugh the Hand and Bane. Hugh the Hand is an assassin, and he is about to be executed. He is saved for a last job. This last job being to kill Bane. Bane being the son of the king of the humans, King and Queen, the King Stephen and Queen Anne. So Bane is their child. And he is tasked with killing this child. The interesting thing about this is that in being given this task, it's not like he said, okay, I need you to come sneak into our palace and kill my son. It's, here's my son. I need you to take him somewhere and kill him. As they leave Hugh and Bane to go and find Hugh's concealed dragon ship, I think is what they call it. Let's see. I did pull this up because I wanted to remember some of the terminology. Yes, dragon ship. It was elven dragon ship. He had stolen it, and it's what he used to get around. Well, this man comes to join up with them. His name is Alfred. Basically, he catches up with them. He's a courtier, and he serves Prince Bane. He's very weak when people threaten him. He faints when he's afraid, things like that. So, this starts off their adventure. Now, there is a point where weird things start happening. So they're going to the ship. There's these trees, beautiful trees made of glass, and part of them falls and seemingly kills Prince Bane. But when Hugh arrives at the scene, Prince Bane is alive. Alfred is standing over him, and it looks like there may be a design that was on his in his blood or whatever. But Alfred quickly brushes it away, and they end up then meeting up with. They end up going to Drevlin, which is the lower realm where the dwarves live. Now. At this point, it kind of switches, and we are introduced to a man named Haplo. He is a patron. I'm, again, guessing on the pronunciation. Haplo has tattoos all over his body, and that is a sign of someone who is a patron. You find out through the book that there was a war between the Sartan and the patron, and the patron lost and were relegated to the labyrinth. Now, over the years, the patrons have been fighting their way through this labyrinth, and it has been killing them as they've been, trying to get through the labyrinth. Haplo was rescued by the first patron to ever break free of the labyrinth. And he was sent out to scout the other realms to help them plan for when the rest of the patron race got out of the labyrinth and came to the other human realms, or I shouldn't say the other human realms, the realms of the lesser beings, if you will. Again, we get down to where the dwarves live. The dwarves are rather interesting in this case. I mean, they're typical fantasy dwarves. They're shorter. They're more into mining and machinery and things like that. They actually worship this old machine that they call the Kixie Whimsy. And they are not sure what this machine does. They only know that they serve it. There is a lot politically that's going on with not just with the dwarves, but with the elves and the humans as well, as they're trying to feel their way diplomatically around what's going on in their realms. There's one dwarf who, his name is Limbeck, and he is trying to figure out what the Kixie Whimsy is and what it does and why they were tasked with maintaining it and things. But the rest of the dwarves are like, no, we can't do that. It's our charge. We can't question it. It was given to us by the gods. That kind of thing. And so you also have the elves that obviously there's problems with the resources in the realms, and some of the elves, there are rebels on both sides, but they're more concerned with trying to figure out how to come to a peaceable solution to what's going on in the realms. And then obviously the Mysteriarchs, who are at the top of the realm, they're also involved in the warring factions and how they are involved. There's a lot of intrigue on all sides. And then obviously with the return of the patron, this race of that are at this point kind of mythical. They don't the lesser races, humans, elves, dwarves, they have legends of these mighty magical beings that, you know, warred in the time before everybody knew what was going on. And they're all woven together quite well. I did enjoy reading Dragonwing. I'm trying to remember. I have read the entire Deathgate cycle. There are 7 books in the Deathgate cycle. I recall enjoying them overall. Some are, in my mind, a lot better than others. I did not care too much for the 3rd book. The 2nd book I did enjoy nearly as much as I enjoyed Dragonwing, but 3rd not so much. It's been a while since I've read these. That's why I had to look up some of this stuff. If you're looking for a new fantasy series to get into, Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman do a fairly good job of characterization and plot building and development and things like that. So I do recommend the Deathgate cycle. I also recommend the Dragonlance, at least the first series of Dragonlance books. But that's for another time. If you have questions or comments, again, as always, leave them down below. Like and subscribe. Click put the bell on so that you get notifications when I post videos. You might see that I posted 2 videos today. Actually, I didn't. I have 2 YouTube channels, and I accidentally posted the video that is getting uploaded as we speak, or as I'm recording this one. When I went to check the videos, I realized I had accidentally switched and uploaded it to the wrong channel. So I removed it from that channel, and I'm uploading it to this channel. I don't know what happened last week, but last week I accidentally switched where things were uploaded. So I got some things crossed. So anyway, it may seem like I had 2 videos coming out this week. It's actually, I'm reposting one to the correct channel. If you have any questions, comments, if you've read Dragonwing, let me know what you thought of it. There is quite a lot going on in this book, maybe a little bit too much. If I remember right, there's even like a glossary at the back, so you can kind of figure out who people are and what certain things are in the fantasy world. I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea, nor do I think it's necessarily a bad idea, because if you are introducing a lot of new concepts, it may be difficult for people to stay on board with those concepts if you don't put somewhere where they can quickly refer to them. This isn't the only book series to do this. Robert Jordan's books, the Wheel of Time series, they also have that going on as well. And one of the things I remember, the original Dune movie, the one with Kyle MacLachlan, I think that's his name. Yeah, that one, they handed out glossaries during the showings of the movie. Anyway, let me know, like, subscribe, comment, put the bell on, etc., etc., and I will see you next time. Enjoy what you're reading.